Hey folks, Lester's here. I'm actually in the same room as Jamie, but she's working. She's working. And I'm also here with Trixie and Maggie. And I'm going to wait just a couple of seconds or so because this is not going to be your typical jovial live with answering a whole lot of questions. I'm here to make a public service announcement. I'm here to make a public service announcement, but I like to just do it once instead of having to do it 100 times and on all of the different platforms. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to write. A lot of the emails are coming in this morning, and then of course messages that are sending your condolences for Marcia. I want to kind of explain a little bit about what happened and talk about a little bit that led up to what happened. And then I'm going to have to cap it off with asking you politely and respectfully to remember your place when it comes to the social media channels, and not just my channel, but all of our channels. So I think we can go ahead and get started now. We're right there at our normal number. So let me go ahead and first of all show some love. Trixie, come here, baby. Come on, baby. Up. Who wants to come up? Can you come up or not? Oh, go, booga, booga, booga. Come on, Maggie. Up, Maggie, come with us. Come on. Baby, I need help getting Maggie up.
Oh boy.
You can't help me?
No, I can't. I'm working.
Jamie's not going to be able to help me. All right, baby. No one's mad at you. So.
Yes, we are.
Get down. So I'm very blessed to have two really wonderful dogs. They're both boxers. It's Trixie and Maggie. And they've been a part of my life for a very long time. And even though I love them very much, it doesn't mean that sometimes those we love don't have bad habits. And I'm sure that many of you would agree that people in your life who you love dearly could also have some bad habits. And it might be your own pets who you know to have some bad habits. It might be your partner. It might be your children. But it doesn't mean that you don't love those any less just because they have some bad habits. But what you have to do is learn to accommodate and work around and try to help them help themselves as far as their bad habits go. So what we do here, we have a sweet little girl who, I don't know how it started. I can't say the first time it happened because it's been so many times. But at some point in her life, she got the excitement of chasing a chicken. And, in a playful way, it always starts as a playful thing. And she ended up killing that chicken. And now she has a bad habit. It's become a game to her to whenever she's out and about and she sees a chicken or a duck, or in this case, a turkey who's defenseless, she starts playing. And then at some point, she plays too rough and she ends up taking the life of that baby. She doesn't eat them, she just plays. And so that's kind of what happened here yesterday. So I'll give you the backstory as much as I can, but I want to tell you what I do first of all to accommodate. You don't really have to ask a lot of questions right now. If you want to talk amongst each other, that's one thing. But I'm going to tell you now that I'm going to focus on the screen, and I'm going to focus on my thoughts, and I'm not going to be distracted or dissuaded from things that you're commenting over here on the side of the screen. If I could turn those off like Jake did this morning on his video, I would do so, because in reality, it was a whole lot of that, the comments that's in a way preluded to everything that happened. We have the barn dominium that's air conditioned. It's climate controlled. If you don't know this because you're a new follower, you know that after Hurricane Harvey, when I lost my home, I converted my barn into a livable space. And I was able to live there for 3 years until Jamie and I got the house we're living in now. Um, the barn dominium is not lived in on a full-time basis. On occasion, Ellie will stay out when he's here for a few days in a row. Whenever Jamie's mom comes into town, she stays in the barn dominium. Her son, Xander, will stay in the barn dominium. And we have an occasional guest who will come by and stay for a couple of days. Whenever they do, they normally find that they have a roommate waiting for them, and that would be Trixie. Trixie, in fact, lives in the barn dominium. By night and during the heat of the day, during the cold parts of the winter, Trixie is in a very safe and secured climate controlled environment. A lot of times in the mornings when I wake up, part of my routine is to let all the dogs out. Sometimes Jamie beats me to it, but we also go out and let Trixie out to go use the restroom and take care of her business. And normally they go straight into the yard. We have a fenced in yard. That's where our pool and our trampoline is at, right here beside the house. And the girls spend most of the time there in the yard. Now, Trixie has to stay in the yard or in the barn dominium. Trixie is not allowed to run about the way Maggie does. And in saying so, you don't see Trixie in very many videos. I'll tell you real fast, and I'm only doing this for the new folks who follow the page. Trixie has a lot of bad habits. Some of those habits, and I may forget some, Jamie can jump in if she wants to, but she really is working. She has to be on her computer, guys. Sorry. Trixie has bit Sister Kim. Trixie has jumped on my dad's dog, Heidi, and whipped the heck out of him to where Heidi needed stitches. Trixie has a horrible habit of sucking the exhaust of any motor vehicle. If you crank up any motor vehicle, Trixie has a weird habit of running up behind it and putting her mouth over the exhaust and licking and swallowing the fumes. I don't know why. Besides that, she also chases every car or four-wheeler or side-by-side or Amazon truck that comes up this driveway. And then, of course, she chases chickens. She chases our cats. She not
that she rips the skirting out from underneath the house.
She when
has eaten wires and plumbing.
So I guess last summer she began to find a way to get into the skirting under our home and tore up a whole bunch of our. They have a lot of the plumbing and a lot of the air conditioner ducts that run under there that she tore up. Bottom line is, I'm not trying to sit here and bash on Trixie because I love her. She's my sweet girl, but she's not allowed to be out and about. She's not allowed to be out and about. She's not, because when she is out and about, she requires very direct supervision. I mean, you have to be on her the whole time and know right where she's at. So it's not like I can get on the side by side and drive off, because she may follow me for a bit, and at some point she may veer off and go do something she shouldn't be doing. And so to keep her safe, we try to keep her in a secured, environment, the way many of you would who live in the city, who have yards. You can't let your animals just run the way you see Maggie or the way that you see Ritzy running. Sunday, Jamie and I were doing our live, and somebody started something about they saw a video where Trixie died. And of course, I saw the comment as it went by, and I didn't pay it much attention because it's very common for people just to want to be heard or seeking attention so bad they just create things. That happens all the time, y'all. That happens all the time. But unfortunately, there's enough people who saw that same comment and they begin to ask us, how did Trixie die? How did she die? What happened to Trixie? And we continue to ignore the comment, because you know that you ignore the comments and those types of people will finally stop asking. But in this case, because someone said that Trixie had died, we begin to get emails and other forms of messages, and those that find our phone numbers through Google or whatever begin to message us, and they just had to know what happened to Trixie. I'm not one to give in to demands necessarily. I don't, that's something that I take great pride in, that I do not bend the knee to anybody. But because of the fact that there were so many people, especially the seniors, who were overly concerned about Trixie dying, I decided to let Trixie become a part of a few videos, just a couple of random videos. I'm going to say something kind of mean, Jamie, but I was doing it just to hush you up. I allowed Trixie out of her normal routine, out of the consistent routine that we have, simply to hush some people up, to stop all the emails, to stop all the phone calls, to stop the text messages from crazy numbers, and especially to stop all the comments and all the hate mongering that was being generated in the comments. So I just says, you know what, I'm just going to put her in a couple of videos, and that should hush people up. And so in that process, I let Trixie out, and when she went back to the yard, there's a special clip that we have to put over the latch. And I don't think that Jake and Ben understand that. And so when Trixie got sent back to the yard, she was able to get herself back out of the yard. By then, I was gone. I'd already gone over to Longhorn Lester's. Marcia, who we had taken down out of the hay and put into the stall with her eggs, was in the stall. And at some point, Trixie had trapped Marcia in the stall and started playing her typical rough play games. And by the time Bennett, that's the little fellow who works here with us over the summer, by the time Bennett got over there, Marcia was already, she was already gone. And at that point, I think that many of you already saw the snippet of Jake's video where he kind of screamed and hollered and grabbed Trixie and drug her back to the yard, and where Trixie made her way out of the yard again, thought it was just the funniest thing. And she didn't do it to be, she's not that kind of a dog. And I know it's hard for me to sit there and say she's not a bad dog to folks that watch the dog. And I've told you have killed many of our babies around here. But she is a dog with bad habits. And so all I'm going to say to you today, I'm going to go ahead and end this live pretty soon after I tell you one thing. And I hope that you're able to hear me. And Jamie can add if she wants to. But the same way that Hollywood has been known to write off an actor, the same way athletes in athletics, they have, teams have a way to end an athlete's career there on that particular team. The same way in the WWE, I often joke with my sons about wrestling, but when a wrestler's not on his best, not on his game, the WWE will find ways to write that wrestler, and slowly his role will diminish. And so I've tried to diminish Trixie's role around here as the creator of I'm a Survivor Sanctuary's page. And I am in control of which characters are a part of our script. And I try to leave Trixie off the script because, in fact, Trixie, I'm trying to write her off the script. Now, I'm not writing her out of my life. Trixie's still a very big part of my life. And we enjoy a lot of fun times together. If you're sitting there screaming because you never see her in videos, it's because what you see in any video is a snippet, a very tiny snippet of a very big day or a very long week. And so when you see a snippet and you don't see a particular animal, it's only because you did not see the full day. You saw a snippet. And so in a snippet, I'm probably overusing that word, in a snapshot of our day, which is a video, you don't see every animal. And I make it a point to purposely capture the animals that I want to be a part of that day's video. So I apologize to Jamie, first of all, for losing her turkey. I know that affected her greatly. Marcia was a rescue who came here with Janky Jan. Was that last summer?
My birthday last summer.
It was Mother's Day?
My birthday.
Jamie's birthday. That was Jamie's birthday gift last summer. And so now we've lost Janky Jan and Marcia. That means we've lost the eggs that we pretty sure were fertilized this time, because Cornholio had been pretty active with her, which was really sweet. Jamie will talk more about that later. And I apologize for Trixie because once again, I cast a very bad light on her because I knew better. I knew better. I knew better. And I should have made sure that she was not out and about and a part of. Anyway, and then I'm also going to end by saying we are not going to ever be the types of folks, not video creators, who listen to your demands, because I'm not trying to blame and point fingers, but whoever it was, that nasty person who began to create untruths by saying she was dead, and then all the unknowing folks who bought into that untruth, it prompted me to do something that I should not have done, which was let Trixie out and about. I do not apologize for moving Marcia and her eggs. Eggs that are laid in the hay oftentimes fall down through the cracks and are lost forever or until they rot. And I wanted Marcia to be able to hatch those eggs. I wanted Cornholio to have children. And so that's why I put her in what I thought would be a safe place. And I think that that would have been a great place. We've had many eggs hatched in those stalls, but we just have to keep Trixie away from them. And then, of course, you never close a chicken or a bird inside of a stall. The adults need to be able to move, but they come back when they're broody. Anyway, there's a lot of things that went wrong the last couple of days, and I do apologize for the roles that me and Trixie played in that. But she's a sweet girl. Trixie's fine and well, but I will never again, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it on record, that I will never again succumb to the fist raisers and the foot stompers and those that are going to demand to see particular animals. On this channel, you'll see the animals that we showcase and the animals that we highlight and the animals that we want to be a part of our script. We will also make sure that if something happens and we lose an animal, we've always let you know that we'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly if we possibly can. And that's the beauty of this page. And so you've been told numerous times about Trixie's bad habits and why I let her out to perform just one more thing that is going to leave a lasting hurt on a lot of us. So that's all I wanted to say. Jamie, did I leave anything out?
Nope.
So sorry it wasn't one of those fun lives where we all laugh and play and tell some jokes and everything else, but I wanted to get this off my chest. I wanted to do it in a live form so as the 4,000 of you can make sure y'all spread the word. You're on all the platforms. And so if you ever see someone screaming and hollering and demanding to find out where so-and-so or where so-and-so, just remember that Lester is the writer of this play. I'm the writer of this novel, and I will introduce and move characters as I need to. And there's some that I will end up having to write off, like little sweet Trixie. And I'll say again, just because you won't see much of her doesn't mean she's not a big part of our lives. And I'll say that one last time. Just because you do not see some animals in tiny snippets of our day does not mean they're not a big part of our lives. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching, and I'm really sorry to bring you the bad news. You'll hear more about it on Jamie's video, I'm certain. And I know Jake posted a little bit this morning, and now you've heard it from Lester himself. All right. Thank you, folks.